Greetings, clean air advocates. My name is Jennifer Hidayah, and I'm the Executive Director at L.L.C Houston. Today, we want to tell you about an air permit application that will create more air pollution in our communities and how you can get involved. On Monday, February 6th, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, or TCEQ, is holding a public meeting to hear from community members about an air permit application from a company called Houston Crushed Concrete. This company is requesting to build a brand new concrete crushing facility in Channelview. Concrete crushers break larger rocks into pieces small enough for pavement and construction. This process emits particulate matter, one of the most dangerous air pollutants for public health. Our county regulatory agency, Harris County Pollution Control Services, has already expressed their concern about this permit. They've noted that the permit is insufficient or completely missing multiple enhanced controls required for concrete plants. Without these controls in place, there is even greater risk of PM pollution in the neighboring area. Channelview is already overburdened with multiple sources of air pollution, primarily from the petrochemical facilities lining the Houston Ship Channel. Channelview can't afford another source of air pollution in their community. To provide you with additional background on the public health impacts of this permit and how to tell your story at Monday's hearing, I'm going to turn the mic over now to my colleagues here at L.L.C Houston, Dr. Inyang Uwak, our Director of Research and Policy, and Genesis Granados, our Environmental Justice Coordinator. Take it away, Inyang.
Thank you, Jen. Hello, everyone. My name is Inyang Uwak. I serve L.L.C Houston as the Research and Policy Director. I will be speaking to you today on the public health impacts of concrete batch plant emissions. Emissions from concrete batch plants constitute a variety of sources of pollution, including air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, and solid waste generation. In terms of air pollution exposures, we have the following: particulate matter air pollution, which includes PM10, PM2.5, silica, and other aggregates. We also have black carbon, nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxide, and carbon monoxide. According to the American Lung Association State of the Air 2022, researchers estimate that PM2.5 is responsible for about 48,000 premature deaths annually in the US, mainly from cardiovascular and respiratory causes. It's termed premature deaths because these deaths may not have occurred if the air were cleaner. Short-term exposure to particulate matter pollution can cause an increase in hospital admissions for cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks and strokes, as well as worsen the severity of asthma attacks. Long-term exposures to particulate matter pollution can increase the likelihood of developing diabetes, lung cancer, and impair brain functions. Exposures to nitrogen oxide can cause a variety of health problems, including damage to lung tissue, visual impairment, and asthma exacerbation. Sulfur dioxide in high concentrations can affect breathing and may aggravate existing respiratory and cardiovascular disease because it is a lung irritant. Sensitive populations include asthmatics, individuals with bronchitis, children, and elderly. Carbon monoxide exposure can cause harmful health effects by reducing oxygen delivery to the body's tissues and organs, as well as adverse effects on the cardiovascular and central nervous systems. Other forms of pollution, as I mentioned earlier, include noise pollution. Idling of diesel-powered trucks waiting to be loaded, typically in the early hours of the morning, can constitute a source of noise and traffic nuisance to the residential communities around the plant. Emissions from this idling truck can also contribute to the air pollution I mentioned earlier. Another source of pollution would be water pollution. Wastewater from concrete batch plants may contain pollutants like cement, sand, and aggregates. This polluted wastewater runoff, if not properly managed, could end up in residential storm water drains, could also end up in creeks and other waterways. With that said, I will pass the ball to Genesis, who will tell us what to expect in the public meeting and how to tell your story.
Thanks, Inyang. Hi, I'm Genesis Granados. I'm the Environmental Justice Coordinator here at L.L.C Houston. I'm going to cover a little bit about the hearing structure and, of course, how to share your story. With this hearing, expect the first period to be registration and an informal discussion where you can ask questions and engage in discussion. After this informal period ends, the TCEQ will then conduct a notice and comment hearing. In this section is where you can present your oral statement based on your registration order. So when you go, please make sure to register so that you're able to speak. With these comments, they can last between a minute to 5 minutes. It really depends on the hearing. They might choose just to give participants 2 minutes or 3 minutes. After this, they, of course, will call it a close, right? And give you any information that you may ask for or any questions that you may have. With these hearings, they can last from an hour to 3 hours. So it's very important that you take care of yourself during this time. Make sure you eat beforehand, pack some snacks, some waters, take things for your self-care. Hearings can be very long and emotionally draining, so make sure to take care of yourself during that time. And of course, now we move on to what is your comment. Your comment is important because it is your story. This comment shares your experience, shares your story, shares the experience of living next to this factory, next to this batch. This is also an opportunity, if you know statistics or facts, to, of course, mention them. It is also an opportunity to share stories of community health. As we know, many of the folks who live next to refineries, to factories, to batches, tend to experience health problems, not only themselves, but their children, their parents, their great-grandparents. So it's very important to share that experience, to share that history, because your comment is your story. Your story is valid, and we need to share these stories with the people who have caused environmental harm to the communities that we love, that we live in, and that we share experience with others. If you need any assistance with writing out your comment, please don't hesitate to contact us. We are here to help. We are here to provide resources. Now passing it on to Jen.
Thank you so much, Genesis and Inyang. I'd like to close with the 2 key actions we want TCEQ to take in regards to this permit. Number 1, TCEQ should reject this permit outright and say no to the environmental and health harms posed by another polluter in this neighborhood. Barring that, number 2, TCEQ must do everything in their power to strengthen the permit itself. They can start by requiring all of the enhanced control measures outlined by Harris County Pollution Control. Once again, the public meeting on this permit will be held on Monday, February 6th. It will begin at 7 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Houston East, Channelview. You can go to our website to learn more about the meeting or the permit and the concerns for public health. We have talking points on the website and sample comment letters. We here at L.L.C Houston can also help you prepare your comments for Monday. Reach out to us at 713-528-3779 or write to us using info@airalliancehouston.org. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope you'll join us on Monday to tell this facility and TCEQ that everyone has the right to breathe clean air.